Hello Internet and welcome to another episode of How to Create Anything in Archicad, and today I'd like to show you how you can create your very own custom ramps. And with ramps I mean something like a ramp where two cars can drive next to each other upwards onto a parking lot or something like this. So first of all we need to create a profile. So we right click somewhere here into the grayness of the toolbars and click on attributes. And this is our attributes toolbar, and there we find the profile manager. We click on new and I call this custom ramp. Click on OK, and now we have a blank canvas where we can draw on our new profile. And I'm not looking for exact measurements right now, I just draw something. So this is our concrete basement, and maybe we have another layer of asphalt or something else on top, and then we have something like concrete bumpers or concrete walls on the outside. And I copy this to that side, and that's pretty much all. The only thing I like to do is adding a little point here in the middle of the top layer, so it's like a peak where water can flow down. We can edit this later, but yeah, to say this first, we will create a profile wall, but then we will transform it into a morph, so we cannot edit this profile later. But that's okay, it's not about realism right now. And yeah, then I go into the fill tool and we find all our building materials in the fill tool. That's only in the profile manager window, and I add reinforced concrete here and there and there, and I add maybe asphalt or something which I can find faster. Just another kind of concrete here. So that's pretty much our profile. I just check if the outline types are activated, because otherwise we wouldn't see this in our 2D windows, but everything seems fine. And as I said before, we are going to use this with a wall and not with the beam tool. And now we can save it. One thing I like to change is that I put the whole thing onto the pivot point here. That's our point 0, 0, and save it again, and that's our drawing line too in 2D. After saving it, just close it, and we go into our wall tool and we go into our wall settings here and we choose custom walls, and there we find custom ramp. Now I can just draw a piece of ramp, maybe 20 meters. That's okay, and it should look something like this. Another thing which I can do with the wall tool is that I could add some curvature or bending. So it's 20 meters, I will add a radius of 20, which is not good. Let's stick with 10, that looks good. And now I have a almost perfect half circle. So in 3D it should look something like this. Next thing I want to do is I want to take all these points here, or these points, doesn't matter, and put them up in height. So I will transform them into a morph right now, and then I can choose all these points and elevate them along the Z axis. So the goal is that afterwards this is becoming a full circle, and the full circle has a height difference of 3 meters. So these points have to be 1.5 meters higher than these ones here. And how to do this? That's pretty simple, to be honest, but it's not very, let's say, user-friendly. I right click here and I convert all of this into a morph. And as you can see, I cannot select only these points. Even if I choose the marquee tool, it's not possible. But you know, the arrow tool has two arrows, the dark one and the white one. The white one, which is also called the sketch up arrow, is the one that I need to use here. and I need to select only these points here with the white arrow. And now there is another option in my pad palette which is called elevate. And I elevate this along the Z-axis by 1.5 meters, and then it should look something like this. That was pretty easy. Next thing, I select that ramp and I drag and copy it. So I just drag it and then I press on Control to have a copy, and then I have a second one. Next thing is to turn this around. So I press Control and E, which is the shortcut in the international version, and I need the middle point, which I get when I click somewhere on this arc here or here or here. It's all the same middle point. And then I turn this around by 180 degrees, and then I take this point here, not move node, drag the whole thing to that point, and then it looks something like this. The only thing left to do, selecting this, but first of all I have to go back into my arrow settings, go back to the dark one so I can select the whole thing. And as you can see, that's the tricky stuff when you work with the white arrow. It automatically makes one morph out of the whole thing, which is not it's not drastic, because I can right now go there and choose the split tool, which I have to do, and split it along this line here. Now I have two morphs. Probably there will be some artifacts left or something like this, but we will see. Well, once I have this morph selected, I click on it and I drag the whole thing to the same point. As I said, there is something left, which is not bad. By the way, the shortcut to get the white arrow tool is Control and Shift. Only hold down Control and Shift, and as you can see, the color changes. So when I hold down Control and Shift, I can only select these surfaces here, and I press on Delete and they're gone. Same thing here, hold down Control and Shift and delete that stuff. And now it looks like this. I can add this surface here later, but that's exactly what I wanted to achieve. It's my very own custom ramp with my very own custom profile, which could be way more complex than this. You can also draw a complete house if you like, where you can add windows later, or you have to add the windows before, but that's really tricky. And yeah, it could be way more complex than this one here, but it's a pretty easy but not very accessible way to create your very own custom ramps. And I hope you learned something today. And as always, leave a like down below in the comment section down below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do it. As always, have a great day and stay creative.